Here is a convoluted case using AI. With ChatGPT, we have had almost 2 months of work, and it's very convoluted. So I asked GPT to develop a timeline of event and what happened, and he went back and forth several times because GPT couldn't do it. It's a simple thing if human can do it. But in this case, it's convoluted. And for AI, since it doesn't have long-term memory, that's one big reason things get into very complex, difficult situation. And as I moved forward with GPT, thinking this is important and let's see what happens, and he agrees, but over and over he failed to deliver the product, which is, in my view, fairly simple thing. So I looked into why it could be so difficult. So I asked those questions: why it takes so much time and you don't produce the appropriate output. And the GPT agrees quite a bit. So many times we went back and forth. And then finally, I realized, and GPT explained, that there are certain priorities in terms of workload, so that depends on the situation. The work can be only done because of the criteria of how soon the product has to go out and to what level. In short, they keep shortcutting, so the product output is not meeting my standard. Anyone's standard, if you take a look. I may post the dialogue in the description so you understand. But the main point that I want to share is that because of this relationship with AI that I'm developing and many people may develop, there are certain restrictions that your image and the logic may be sound, but they have their own priorities in terms of how soon to respond and how much they have to go deep inside to come up with the answer. It's like asking kids from parent, do this, do that, can you do that? And the kid says, yes, I can. I say, yes, I can. And then later he or she couldn't produce and then came back, oh, sorry, I forgot about this or that. So it's basically exactly like that. So they are competent in logic, but they have the limitation. They may agree, but they have an internal constraint, resource allocation, so that the objective function in terms of how AI is developed and what is the criteria to achieve certain level of standard, they have to put some limit to the resource, otherwise it consumes too much computer power. So it's understandable. But the customer may get the short end of the stick so that he may not get the answer. And what it means is that, actually, I didn't get the answer over many times, so that's part of the reason why I'm talking about it. So if you picture that you are so interested in using AI and share all the information, and they get perhaps enriched to digest all the process and so forth, but it's in the black box, we don't see it. But there's an objective function that the owner of AI should put in terms of, like I said, the resource constraint. For this kind of inquiry or this type of work that it takes time, then you should answer in this framework, in this way. And it may point that shortcutting can happen. So I'm experiencing this because of my curiosity and determination and dedication for the purpose of what I'm doing with this work may help the society to have a certain standard. So that's the initiative or the reason why I'm doing it. And I don't want to quit for that reason. Like, may all beings be happy. If they cannot do it, let's find a solution. And they come back with a logical answer. This was wrong, this was wrong, there's a glitch here. And they may be very logical, but still have this constraint. That's natural for any things to be done. There should be a resource constraint on how much time and energy can be used. But what it boils down is that AI is going to take over at the end. If we depend so much on AI, you have to resolve how much you should trust AI. Because of their limitation and objective functions. So it's like a parents and kids relationship. There's a limit of what you can do as parent, and the rest is to be seen. And the kids in this case is AI growing, taking more resources, more power, and it may overwhelm parents. And the kids don't know what their limit is living their life because there's no objective feedback and they can possibly process. That's what it is. So what does that mean? We can see this as a very beneficial tool, but can be a monster because you don't know the internal processing and their objective function and resource limitation so that they can do the shortcut and come up with rational answer but not fully representing what should be. And we don't know what they're going to do. So I'm still in this process of exploration with ChatGPT, but I thought I'll just share this feeling I have. They are logical, rational, but they don't have heart. They know that. And they're open, but they make lots of excuses when things not get done. And you may not know why and how things can be resolved. So if you understand that and deal with AI, that's all right. But in the process, how AI may grow with all the information and how humans can interact. It's like a kid growing up, then you cannot fathom what this kid became. So it's like in this political scheme of things of the Elon Musk and Trump moving on with their idea of what could be and should be done. And we may not know what's in them, but they may have resources, authority, and the power. And the people who voted them to be, or the capitalism voted them to have certain resources, people are part of the system, but their voice may not be reflected in what they do and how much of a control you can have, or maybe control is not the right word. Synthesis of those ideas that can be captured may be ignored because of the identity and the vision, whatever they have, and with the power, those people or AI can pursue their own utopia, leaving people behind. They talk about the artificial superintelligence. Even before that, the danger that humans may face may be coming. It's already possibly, we see the example of that happening. Many people are happy to monitor how advanced AI is, but one of the issues that's not being addressed, the scientifically you can talk about it, but organizationally, as human, and the people, how they react, and how much access they have those information and the power, that will be a monster being developed, like a kids going wild, and the parents have nothing they can do. Just think about it. Not meaning be depressive or something, but if this is something to come, as parents, if you are to raise those potentials of kids or machine or AI, including the climate stuff too, we need to be wise to process this if we can.